"You don't belong at this table," her father snapped, dragging me away. "You're just trash, literally." Then his silent daughter grabbed my hand and whispered something no one expected. "My name is Daniel Brooks. I'm 34. I work as a garbage collector, raising my daughter alone after losing everything. I wasn't rich, but I had heart. If you've ever been judged by your job, subscribe. Tell me your story below. Click hype. Let's go." Every morning, I pushed my truck down streets that smelled like fresh flowers and expensive perfume, places where people never looked me in the eye. The houses were huge, shining like they belonged in a magazine. And right in the middle of that street was her house, the biggest one. That's where I first saw her. A little girl, maybe 7 or 8, standing quietly on the balcony. She never smiled, never waved, just watched me. At first, I thought nothing of it. People stare at garbage collectors all the time. But she wasn't judging me. Her eyes looked different, soft, curious, almost like she wanted to say something. One morning, a voice cut through the air. "Stay away from her," a woman snapped from across the street. "You'll bring your dirt into our lives." I kept my head down. I was used to it. Then, one day, something changed. As I rolled the bin past their gate, a small toy fell from above and landed near my feet. I looked up. It was hers. She leaned over the railing, eyes wide. I picked it up, dusted it off, and walked to the gate. "Hey," I said gently, holding it up. "You dropped this." Before she could move, the front door slammed open. Her father stormed out, his shoes clicking hard against the ground. "Don't touch anything that belongs to us." I froze. Neighbors started watching. I could hear whispers. "Look at him," trying to get close to them. I felt my face burn. "I was just returning it," I said quietly. "Stay in your place," he snapped. Then something unexpected happened. The girl ran down the stairs straight toward me. Before anyone could stop her, she grabbed my shirt and held on tight. Her father pulled at her arm. "Let go!" But she didn't. Her grip got stronger, her whole body shaking. Everyone went silent. Then she opened her mouth. I held my breath. Nothing came out, but her lips moved like she was trying, like something was trapped inside. And in that moment, I knew this wasn't just silence. The next day, I wasn't allowed back on that street. 2 security guards stood at the entrance. "Orders," one of them said. "People like you don't belong here." I nodded and turned away, even though my chest felt heavy. Days later, I passed by during a neighborhood event. Music, laughter, expensive food. I stayed on the edge, doing my job. Someone laughed loudly. Even garbage collectors think they're heroes now. More laughter followed. I kept moving. Then came the worst part. Rumors started spreading that I was trying to get close to the girl for money, that I had bad intentions. I couldn't believe it. I went home that night, my hands still smelling like metal and waste, my heart heavier than ever. My own daughter hugged me, and I forced a smile. Meanwhile, I heard things about the girl. She stopped coming to the balcony. She stopped reacting to anyone. Doctors came and went. "There's no medical explanation," they said. But I knew. I kept thinking about her eyes, that fear, that silence that didn't feel natural. Why does she react differently to me? I asked myself again and again. Because something wasn't right. What they didn't know was I had something they couldn't buy. After my wife passed, I spent nights reading about child psychology, trying to understand my own daughter's grief and silence. I learned how fear hides inside children, how loud voices can shut them down completely. That girl was not broken. She was protecting herself from something. I saw it in her eyes that day. I had a plan, simple but risky. It meant stepping back into a world that humiliated me, facing the same people who treated me like nothing. But this time, I would not stay quiet. A week later, I met someone who changed everything. Mr. Harris, my old training mentor. He always saw more in me than just a uniform. "You see something others don't," he told me. "Don't ignore it." Meanwhile, the family kept throwing money at the problem. Specialists, therapists, experts, none of them worked. The girl got worse, completely silent, no reactions. Then, one evening, I got a call. It was her father. His voice was different, lower, tired. "Fix her," he said, "and name your price." I paused. Then I said,
She's not a business deal. Silence. I'll help, I added, but on my terms. They agreed, but I could feel it. They still thought they were in control. The next day, I walked into their living room. It smelled like polished wood and expensive candles, but the air felt cold. She sat on the couch, still, like she wasn't even there. I ignored everyone else and sat in front of her. "You're safe," I said softly. "You don't have to be afraid anymore." Her father scoffed. "This is a waste of time." I didn't even look at him. "Hey," I whispered, "I'm right here." Her fingers twitched. Then, slowly, she reached for my hand and gripped it tight. The room went silent. Her father stepped forward. "Enough of this." Then it happened. Her lips moved. "Don't shout. It hurts." Everyone froze. Her father's face went pale. I stood up and looked at him. "She was never broken," I said calmly. "She was scared of you." No one spoke. For the first time, the power in that room shifted, and they all felt it. I didn't stay. I walked out, leaving behind their silence. I refused their money, their thanks, everything. Weeks later, I heard she started speaking again, slowly, carefully. Her father changed too, or at least he tried, but some damage never fully disappears. As for me, I went back to my truck, back to my daughter, back to my life. Stronger. Because I finally understood something. Sometimes the loudest people create the deepest silence, and the quiet ones are the ones who heal it. If you've ever been judged or humiliated because of your job, I understand. Share your story below. Subscribe to stand with us. Click hype to help this reach others. Your story has power. If you felt a connection to mine, please subscribe and share your journey in the comments. Every hype helps someone else feel seen and heard.